Hey, what's up guys? So welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are starting a new series known as Master API with Postman. So in this series, we are going to learn about what APIs are and why the organizations are leveraging these APIs to integrate them in their applications and utilize different data from coming from different microservices. What are the benefits of API? How many types of API are there, and how we use these APIs to read the data from coming from different sources. And also, we will learn about the Postman, which is an interface that allows us and organizations to interact with different APIs. We will learn about the API testing and also how to automate those testing. So all this will be covered in this single course. So like this video already and subscribe to our channel so you do not miss anything, because this is going to be in parts and I don't want you to miss any parts, because this is the upcoming technologies and the data integration is a challenge for every organization that they want to handle with expertise. So let's see what the roadmap of this course would be. So first of all, we will understand about everything about APIs, what the APIs are, how many types are there, what is their benefit, why the company suddenly started using it, and all about it. After that, we will learn to install and set up the Postman so that we can start using Postman to connect to our APIs and read the data from them. So we will work with the API data on Postman, how we will to read the data, to send the request, to write the data, to post request. All these technologies or terminologies would be taken care of in the later stage of the video. We will also learn about the security and the access of the data. And after that, we will come to a real-time project work, because only theoretical knowledge is of no use. When you go to any project or organization, they want you to get your hands dirty and do some real work. So for that, we have integrated and included some 1 to 3 real-time project work that will give you a better knowledge how we are going to use this API data. After that, we will do the testing automation on Postman also. We will do testing separately and then automate those testing on Postman. So all this will be covered in this particular course. And one thing I make sure, this course is all free for everyone. At any point of the video, I won't be stopping this course and asking you to buy a paid version of the course anywhere else. So subscribe this channel and stay tuned for the upcoming information. Let's get started. So first of all, we will see why the organizations have started to integrate APIs in their application. We have to go a little back, where the companies were following the monolithic architecture. In monolithic architecture, what was happening was the interface, the business layer, and the data interface all were coupled together or encapsulated together in a single server or a single entity. That was the composition of a monolithic architecture. Everything, including the graphic interface, the database layer, or the business layer, or the analytics, everything was coupled together in a single architecture. So there the communication that was happening between these interfaces, between these layers, was minimal or does not require that complex solutions. So that's why there was no APIs that were utilized there. There was simple communication that was happening through the ports and utilizing the cables. But what happened later on, the organizations shifted to the microservice architecture. In microservice architecture, different microservices were placed at a distance location. Say the servers are placed across country or across geographies. So in some cases, it happens that the company does not even owns the microservices, but it is utilizing the data or extracting the data using that microservice that belongs to somebody else. So in that case, they want to communicate between those two microservices or those two interfaces. For the communication purpose, they created something known as APIs. So these APIs are application programming interface that provides the communication layer between different microservices placed at different server locations. So APIs are nothing but in simple language, APIs are just a secure communication layer between different microservices placed at different geographical location, or may it be same geographical location, but they are placed differently. So what is the need of the API and what are the benefits of the API? So as I told, the server could be placed at different location, and then the user or the client or the customer could be present at a different location. So using the API call, we send a request to the database layer of a server that is placed somewhere else, and based on that request we we receive a response, and that response is decoded, and then that response is decoded and the result is shown to the application user or the customer or the client. So this is how the API works. And if we come to the benefits of API, they provide us safe and secure handling of data. Even if our servers are placed at a different location, we get the data within seconds. The data security is also managed using API that we will learn in the later stage. Apart from that, they provide the robustness, they provide integrity of the data. For a single request, there is a single response, and this response is consistent. That means no matter how many times you are sending this request, the same request, you will receive a same response until and unless there is a change at the database level. So moving ahead, let's see how the APIs are connecting people and organizations in the real world. Let's take an example. You are creating an application, and in that application, you want your customers to create login account. So for that, you will have to create a login module. But instead of creating or writing the lines of code yourself, you decided to integrate login with Google, Microsoft, or Apple ID. So for that purpose, you will have to access the APIs coming from the Google server, because you want to read the data that is sitting in the Google database. So this is how people use the API. The another example would be when you order your food through Zomato app, you see that the estimated waiting time of your food is shown, as well as the location of the delivery partner is also shown in a map. So where that data is coming from? Instead of creating their own module to show the location of the driver, the Zomato takes the API from Google Maps. So using the Google Maps data, Zomato increases its flexibility to show additional value to the customer. So this allows both Google Map and Zomato to use their data that was sitting idle in, not idle, that was sitting in the database to create a greater value. You can see in the slide that most of the big organizations have made their APIs available for the developers so they can create something worthy out of that. And coming to next point, if we talk about different types of APIs, there are SOAP, REST, RPC, and GraphQL. There are other different types of APIs as well, but the most widely used APIs across the organization is the REST and the SOAP APIs. And out of those also 90 to 95% REST APIs are used. So that is why we will be only focusing on the REST or the representational state transfer APIs in this entire course. In this particular course, we are only talking about the web APIs. So coming to the access and security concerns, as I said, one organization can access the data from the another organization using their APIs. But what if some unethical person utilizes that data for something illegal or something that the first company or the company providing the API does not want to be happen to its data? For that purpose, they do authentication of the data. So this authentication or the security maintenance is done by different approaches. For that, the first and the basic approach is to make a API paid or free. Some APIs are paid and some APIs are free to use. So definitely the paid APIs have the higher security, and they are done only after the verification of the customer who wants to access those APIs. And even after getting paid, they are provided the key secret, the authentication code or the bearer token, and this all security is maintained through a key secret pairing. I'll give you an example. When we log into a Razorpay or a PayPal account and we want to access their sandbox detail or access their APIs, they generate a key secret pair. We read the key secret pair and provide it as a variable in our code. And after the key secret pair matches the hash value, it provides us the authentication to read or write to read the data or write the data in a particular API through a particular API. So there are different security methods that can be used while connecting to a API. We will learn more about these security methods when we will set up our API URLs in Postman. So to access the APIs and read the data from the APIs, we need an interface known as Postman. So let's get going and download the Postman. Just go to your Google search bar and write Postman download. Go to the very first link, postman.com, and then download the Postman from here. So that's how you download the Postman. Just download this Postman. Since this video is already getting longer, we'll meet you in another video. Till then, you download the Postman and keep it handy. I'll give you the highlights of the next video. We will install the Postman, understand various components of the Postman. We'll create and work with the collections and then connect to a API. We'll understand the various we'll understand various interface options that are available in Postman, and then we'll understand the URL parameters and the query parameters and how to work with them. So next session would be something practical that you should not miss. So subscribe to our channel, like this video, and stay tuned for the upcoming video. So till then, take care, goodbye, see you soon.